All right, guys, I just picked up this '04 CBR1000RR from the tow auction, and this bike was stolen and crashed in a pursuit. Now, we're just going to go ahead and go through the bike and basically look at everything that we're going to have to go ahead and change on this bike and get correct. So the main thing is going to be these handlebars, grips, that will be changed out for the OEM ones. Another thing is, you see right down here, the ignition was cut. And they try to take it off, but they weren't able to, and it doesn't power on like this no more. I honestly don't know how many miles is on this bike, nor do I know if it turns on, but we're gonna look through it and try to see if we can figure out how to turn the bike on. But besides the bike needing fairings, it honestly doesn't need much else. The chain looks good condition, the tires look good. It probably is gonna need new oil along with probably some basic maintenance, but everything else looks really good on this bike. There's no rust in the gas tank. I honestly do wonder how many miles is on this bike. Let's pull it in. Let's look through it. Let's see if we can get it started, and then we'll get back to y'all. So let's go ahead and go off of how much I paid for this bike. I ended up paying only $500 for this bike. Now, this bike does have a clean title. I don't know the mileage on this bike yet. The last reported VIN history on this bike said that it only had 100 miles. So considering that, it was probably stolen out of somebody's collection or something and then just completely ragged. I honestly want to go ahead and look through and see how they got this bike started. More than likely it was hot wired. So let's go through the bike and see. So while I was looking over the bike and checking where the ignition comes out of, I saw these two wires coming out and they lead all the way down straight to this switch. Now, if I'm right, I'm pretty sure if I flick this switch, the bike will prime on. Just like that. Will it prime? Oh my God, the bike primes. Now, if we look at the mileage on the, oh my God. Are you serious? Look at that. 332 miles. Holy crap. $332 miles. That is ridiculous. 332 miles. That is crazy. 332 miles. Will it crank? Oh my God, that is crazy. So I did buy a new ignition set for it. Let's get the tightening of this bike up. I think first thing I want to do is give it a little wash before we start working on it. So let's give it a little wash. All right, guys. So we got the CBR pulled out and let's wash it. I'm gonna give it a nice little good wash because it is pretty dirty and it has 300 miles on it. So I really do want the bike to look like it has 300 miles on it. So let's get through cleaning it. With like a super low just because I don't want to. And then these little pieces with rust, I have rust remover. That'll work really, really well on it. All right. This so pretty much just everywhere on the bike. I think it was dirty. This underpart had a bunch of go ahead, wash her down. Let the bike dry. I do plan on buying a leaf blower to dry the, speed of the drying process, but I'm gonna leave it just like this. So now we're gonna work on removing the key switch. So we can really pull back this gas tank, and then we can work on removing this air box, which is gonna give us better access to the ignition. This is my first time working on a CBR like this, so let's go ahead and get to cracking it down. I don't know if I can remove all this to get to that, but we'll find out. Alright, so we got the 04 CBR1000 done. Has about 300 miles on it. I do believe it has a little more than that, but that's what it reads on the speedometer. I am going to tell the customer when he comes that I don't really know the mileage on it. I don't really know if it is 300. I ran the VIN, nothing really came back. It came back to the last report at 285. So I'm just going to go ahead and list it and put like, say that it has like 20K miles on it. We'll try to get 55 for it again. If not, I'll be happy with 5,002 around there. But the bike looks really good, runs really well. As I can see, it looks really, really nice. Let's go ahead and list it and see if we can get a buyer. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
You cool with me recording?
What is it?
You cool with me recording?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, I'll blow your face out, anything like that.
Yes, sir.
What's up, man? Yeah, this the bike, bro. You're the first one to come look at it. I got a whole oil change kit in here for it, the full kit, filter, everything. But yeah, it's the bike. I bought it from. It had no plastic on it when I bought it. And like now I'm selling it, yeah. But dude, she runs perfect. Brakes are like you barely got to touch them. Same thing with the filter, you barely got to touch it. The clutch, runs and drives great. But yeah.
Mind if I check it out real quick?
Yeah, good, yeah.
From the sales?
Well, I used to buy from auctions, but I was looking. That's 51.
Yes,
All right, well, she's yours now,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
You enjoy it, man.
Yes,
Sir.
sir.
You have
Yes,
fun. Drive safe.
Appreciate it, man.
It's the biggest thing.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
And if I do have like title issues, can I hit you?
Yeah, just hit me up, yeah. All right, bro.
All right, guys. So we had the 05 CBR1000 sold. And if I remember, I believe this bike had super low miles. And we ended up only paying $800 for this bike. Now, I had fairings and a whole bunch of stuff lying around, which I wish I didn't do. And I kind of went more depth into it. But I did use fairings I had laying around, which I ended up putting no money into this bike besides the key and the ignition and the oil, which put me up to $1,000 total into this bike. Now, we ended up selling this bike for $5,000. I really wasn't getting too many people that were interested in this bike, I guess because the mileage was fairly way too low, but that's completely fine. And we ended up making a profit of $4,000. Now, I am going to be slowing down on these videos a little bit as I want to go more into depth with my content. But besides that, guys, if you can just like, subscribe, share the video, and comment, you know, it does a lot for the algorithm. It helps push me out. But besides that, thank you guys so much. Peace out.